Good afternoon, lovely people. This is Jacob with Sutherland Chevrolet in Nicholasville, Kentucky, and I'm here today to show you our pre-owned 2018 Traverse Premier. I'm going to kind of walk around the outside here. It does need a little bit of a bath with all the rain and stuff that's going on, and a little bit of snow that we've had, and all the salt out on the roads. They get pretty dirty pretty quick. I just kind of want to give you a quick walk around. It is in very good condition. There are a couple of spots I noticed, which I do want to point out really quick on the outside of the body here. You've got this little spot on the door where it looks like some paint's been taken off. You've also got a little spot here on the hood. Can we see it? Sorry, the sun's right behind me and it's giving this impossible. There it is. It's picking that up. You can kind of see it by the shadow of my arm right there. So it looks like some paint's been scraped off there as well. And then there are, I didn't notice this before, but there are some dings in that door. It looks like someone must have opened it and he smacked another door or something there. There's also a little spot right here where it looks like it's been smacked by another door as well. So I want to mention anything like that to you see, but other than that, it looks like it's in very good condition. And I'll hop in here and kind of show you around, and it does not have a sunroof, so I was right there, but as just about anything else, I'll turn the radio down here. Excuse me. Yeah, coming over a little bit of a cold still. So kind of going left to right on the inside of the vehicle, you'll see here the different power savable settings for your seats. So you can, set it a specific way. I'll open the door here so you can see that, of course, too. So you've got forward, backward, up, down, and then this actually adjusts, the back angle, and this adjusts the lumbar. So there's plenty of different ways. So that pushes the lumbar more into your back, into your spine, and that pushes it further away. So there's plenty of ways to get comfortable in these vehicles. But you can set it a specific way, hit the set button, and then hit a key, and it will save that setting. And that way, if you're driving the vehicle and you want to be number 2 and you want your wife to be number 1 or the other way around, you can set it, save it, and recall it. And that way, you don't have to be mad at each other for adjusting the seat all the time and be bothered by it. Here underneath that, well, actually, there are your locks and unlocks and, of course, the door handle. But underneath that, you've got your adjustable mirror controls. Here, I'll get a little bit closer so you can see that. You select a mirror there, it'll light up. So this is the driver's side mirror. And then you can use this little directional pad to, of course, actually adjust the mirror. And you'll notice in the corner of that mirror, there you go, you can see it real well against the sky. You've got the little emblem for the, I can never remember the name, the blind spot monitor. So blind spot alert system. So if something shows up in that blind spot, it'll glow orange to let you know that there's something there, give you a little warning, and help you out while you're driving. Hopefully help you avoid a collision if possible. That's the goal, right? So, but back to the mirrors here, you can, of course, select the passenger mirror and then adjust that there with the directional pad as well. So, very good. And then here you've got your window lock, so you can keep other people from messing with the windows. And then, of course, your actual window are below that. So, and then you've got this little spot here that you could keep little goodies or just use to kind of open and hold the door. And then underneath that, you've got a little compartment to hold other things. And then here you've got an adjustment for the power hatch for the door, which I didn't even go over yet, but so you can set how high that goes. So maximum, it'll go all the way up. 3/4 is generally there for, like, if you're in a garage or something and you might not be able to open it all the way up without smacking something or a garage door, you can use that 3/4 setting. And man, is it not focusing. There we go. That's a lot better. So that's what that setting's for. And then, of course, you can turn it off. But you can actually open the back hatch just by pressing this little button in here. You'll hear it open right there. There it goes. Then I can close it again by pressing the button as well. There it goes, coming back down. It's very cool. I'm going to shut the door again because I opened it there a little bit. So you've got your lighting controls here. So your fog lights are here. And then I didn't even turn that on. I don't think I pressed. There we go. I didn't press it all the way in. And then we've got your lighting controls here. It will set to auto by default. If you switch it to the left once, that'll put it on manual. So that way you can control the lights yourself and everything. So, but I'm going to put it back on manual, on automatic control there. So, and then next to that is like the internal lighting. So you can set that and dial it in to what's comfortable for you. And then continuing to go to the right on the steering wheel here, you've got your cruise control settings, your heated steering wheel, which is this button, which is very cold outside. So I probably should have turned that on already. And then this is for your collision alert. So you'll see that when I press that button here, this little display in the middle, it'll change that distance for the collision alert. Obviously, with it being three of the lines, that's its maximum setting. Some people get annoyed by that, especially if they end up driving closer to vehicles than others, because it'll ding and bother them. So go what's comfortable for you. You can set it lower. That way it doesn't bother you. This it allows you to get pretty close before it actually will ding. So, but it's there so you kind of have some options. And then, of course, on the right side, you've got all your controls for this display here. So you'll see that it'll actually show the speed limit on a lot of the roads that you're riding on, which is nice to have, but then it'll show the speed you're going on the left side. Now, if I use this little control pad here, I can adjust so it can show me different trip information, oil life, fuel information. So with the oil life, we generally recommend that once it gets down to around 20, 15%, somewhere around there, that you call and schedule an oil change. And that way it's all set up and that stuff, and you can have it planned out, unless you change the oil yourself or something like that. And there is a way to internally reset it as well. If you're on the oil life and you turn right, you can reset it there, and that'll set it back at 100%. So if you change the oil yourself, that's a nice thing to know about. And then it can show you tire pressure information, fuel economy. There's a timer, so if you want to race yourself, go right ahead. And battery voltage, transmission fluid. So you've got a lot of different information that you can have displayed here. And then this is off-road. This is kind of a luxury vehicle in my eyes, so I don't see a lot of people taking them off-road, but that's there if you want that information. And then, of course, you can just have it display like a black screen as well. But you can have it display audio information, so stuff from the radio and what you're listening to. Oops, I didn't do that right. There we go. You can have it display. So we're listening to Willie's Roadhouse 59 on Sirius XM. You can have it display phone information, so like who you're calling or who's calling you when your phone's connected via Bluetooth. And you can even have it show navigation instructions, which I missed right there. But so you can set a place, it'll tell you where to go. So very cool. And that way you're a little less distracted, right, while you're driving. Excuse me, there's that cold again. Here behind the steering wheel, these are like, of course, your other lighting controls. And then here you've got your, losing my mind, your windshield wiper controls, which is pretty standard stuff nowadays, but I want to go over it. Behind the steering wheel, which I'll try to show as well. So there you go. That's nice. It's good that the sun's out because that helps a lot. You've got two buttons here, right? This one turns the volume up. The one at the top, that's pretty loud. So, and then the bottom one turns it down. And then on the other side, you have mirroring controls right here behind the steering wheel. And those will go through your different presets. So you can even see it pop up here where I'm switching through those different radio stations that were preset on the vehicle. So, and it's cool because you can have AM, XM, and FM all mixed in there. So you can kind of customize it to your heart's content. But that's all about I can think to kind of show you here. This does have auto stop start built in. That one thing that I thought about that I missed. So with that technology, the vehicle will actually, in very specific situations, the planets really have to align. You know, you pull up to a stop sign, the engine has to be the right temperature, the transmission has to be the right temperature, everything has to be kind of aligned just right. The heating and air on the cars have to be specific temperatures, and if it's too cold, it's not going to work. If it's too hot, it's not going to work. So it's very specific. And then the engine will actually shut off when your foot's on the brake. Now, when you pull your foot off that brake, once it feels your foot start to release, the engine will snap back on, and that way it's ready for you when you go to hit the accelerator. The entire purpose of that is to squeeze every ounce of gas it can out of the vehicle and get the very best fuel economy, because that's what the fight's over right now. So, and some people get confused by it at first, especially if it hasn't been explained to them. I've completely gotten used to it, and my customers have gotten used to it. It kind of worries some people, so I like to bring it up when I can, because it confuses them, especially if they're not used to it. I don't even notice it anymore. Personally, like when I'm driving the vehicles around the lot, when I'm parking this thing or any others that have the technology, I don't notice it anymore because I'm so used to it, because I see it every day and I'm with it every day, you know. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. I'll continue to show off the vehicle and stop talking about how to stop start. So here's your push to start button, which is what I use to turn the vehicle on. You still have to have your foot on the brake, but there's me shutting it off. And then it's saying, oh, you opened the rear door before you got in. Please check that. Make sure you didn't leave a kid or a laptop or a bag back there. And then, which is something you can turn off if that annoys you too. But it's a feature that's on by default. I'll start it back up here. There we go. And then, sorry, my seat was moving forward because of whoever had the last preset saved on the door there. But I'll go over the radio a little bit too. So you've got some buttons down here. There's the home button, which will take you back to this home screen where you can kind of navigate to everything. So you've got audio, which will be AM, FM, XM. You can see these other buttons to kind of quickly navigate, so you don't have to hit the home button, and there's a few less steps there, the things that you generally use. So you've got, man, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. It's getting a little warm in here. There we go. So, there we go. So you've got AM, FM, XM, and that's how you change that. You also have different media options. So it's going to say no media available, and then ask to pair to a phone. And then here you've got phones. You can see you've had a couple different people's phones connected. Jane's, Ashley iPhone, which we'll remove here real quick. Delete. And so with your phone connected, of course, it's Bluetooth. You can play your music. It'll receive your phone calls. You can look at your contacts. You do have something I totally neglected to mention on the steering wheel here. This will answer phone calls, and this will hang up, these two buttons here. This button will also activate voice activation, voice navigation. So you could say something like, call James. And with a phone connected that has James saved as a contact, it would actually call James.
You can say phone, audio, navigation, weather, or on.
Or I have no phone call connected. It's not actually going to call anybody, so I'm going to hang up on her. But so that's something cool to have. You also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. With that, your phone has to be physically connected to the vehicle, so using these little USBs down here. When it's connected, you can actually push your navigation from your phone up onto the screen, as well as some of the other apps. And if you have an iPhone, you can use Siri, which is a little bit better than this built-in lady in the car here. So that's an awesome thing to take advantage of. Some people also prefer their phone's navigation because it is updated more frequently than the built-in. But the built-in is nice to have too, and you don't have to fiddle with your phone with it. Because you can also use the built-in lady here to say, oh, go to this address or find a McDonald's or whatever, and they can locate it too. So it's very cool. And then there's the built-in navigation. Of course, you can also do it without voice, so you can select a destination, search for different things. You can save points of interest or recents, or of course, contacts can hold navigation directions too. So very cool. And then when you have a phone connected, you can actually have it read your text messages for you. So like over voice, so you're a little less distracted than maybe reading them on your phone or reading the text. This button here takes you straight to your cameras. So this does have like the bird's eye view. available on the display here. How it does that is there's actually a camera at the front of the hood. Well, I guess technically right under the hood where the grill is. And you've got a camera on the back. And then you've got 2 cameras on both the mirrors there. Well, under both the mirrors, the side mirrors. And so that's how it kind of stitches this image together. So you can see different lines and vehicles next to you, which is great if you're backing into a parking space. And it's probably kept me from a lot of accidents here on the lot. And then you've got your other camera on the side here. So right now it's showing what's in front of the vehicle, but I can have it display what's behind. It'll automatically display what's behind when I'm shooting into reverse. And if you're pulling out of a parking spot, it can kind of sense that a lot of times based off the vehicles around you. And it'll actually pop the camera on there too. So the vehicles are pretty smart nowadays. And then another thing you can do is you can actually have it display these lines to kind of guide you along. And it'll actually, when you turn the steering wheel, like you can see I'm doing now, it'll adjust with it. So it's very cool. But I'll go back to the home page now and see if there's kind of anything I'm really missing here. You have OnStar, but it's very redundant because you also have OnStar built up here. And then projection, that button is how you actually get to that. So once your phone's connected via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you hit that projection button, and that's how you get it to actually display on the screen. I'll hit it right now just to kind of show you. It'll say to use this feature, connect support device USB. And then you've got rear climate controls here, something I neglected to mention. So you can adjust the rear. You can also lock the kids out, which it's already locked, from messing with it, because there are controls back there. But if you don't want the kids messing with it, you can keep it locked like it is now, or unlock it like I just did so people can play with it on their own. And then you've got the cameras there, traffic information. You can download different apps and stuff, and then you can even get the My Chevrolet app right there. So here, of course, you can change the volume, turn the radio off and off on and off by pressing that button. You also have this hidden compartment. Oops, I didn't press it hard enough. There, which has a USB port. So you could even charge something and hide it up there. You could hide a wallet up there. So very cool little compartment. Underneath that, you've got your heating and air controls, your cooled seats, which is right there on both sides, so it mirrors itself. When you press it, it's first time that's on its highest setting, and then from there it goes to a lower setting until it's off. And then same thing with the heated seats, which is right down here. This stuff is pretty standard. These controls are, if you want to manually control how quickly the air is moving, and then automatic, you just basically set it to target temperature, and it'll work to get to that temperature. Now you'll see here I have it set at 73 degrees on this side, and then this is set on high, which is the highest setting. Let's say I move it down to 80. So you do have individual, what do they call it? Like, I'm missing it, like climate zones here. So you have separated climate zones, dual climate zones. On my side, I can set it to its temperature, and then the other person, let's say they're cooler and they want a higher temperature, they can set that to kind of help out and make them feel a little bit more comfortable. But let's say I want to have it synchronized now so that they're both at 73. You just hit this synchronize button, and it will set to whatever the driver's temperature is. And then you'll see as I adjust this side, that side will adjust as well. So there you go, down to 72, 71. If I want to go up to 75, it'll roll right along with it. Then there's the heating and the air for the passenger. Down here, you've got those 2 USBs and the auxiliary outlet. And then on the right side, you got your circular outlet. I put the keys down in here, but you also have a wireless phone charging capability here. It doesn't work with all phones, so let me know what kind of phones you have, and I'll double check it. I know it works with some of the iPhones, but not all. It works with more of the Android phones, but still not all. I have a Galaxy S8, and mine works with it. I did have to get a thinner case. I used to have it carry an OtterBox, and so now I have a thinner case, and it works fine, but with the OtterBox, it was just too thick, so it wasn't making a connection. Of course, behind that, you've got your cup holders. This is the electronic parking brake, which is pretty cool. You pull it up to set it just like you would with a crank brake, and you'll see it, boom, parking brake set right there. And then, of course, if my foot's on the brake, just like it used to, with a crank brake, and I press down on it like you would pull down on a crank brake, it'll release that parking brake. The whole entire purpose of this is if I have the parking brake on and I start driving, it'll actually depress the brake automatically. So I don't have to worry about driving with it on where it's electronic, it can turn itself off. So it's very cool. And then next to that, you've got your all-wheel drive control. So if you want to go two-wheel drive, you can turn that to the left, and it'll do that. You've also got this, kind of more cruising off-road kind of capability here, where it changes kind of the changing points for the transmission, as well as the switching gears, as well as kind of the handling a little bit. And then you've also got your towing option there, which does the same as well. You got traction control off, which I would generally recommend leaving on, but if for some reason you get the vehicle stuck and you just can't get it out, no matter how hard you try turning the traction control off. I've heard that it may, and you'll see the traction control show up there. So when that TC is crossed out, that means the traction control is off. It'll be on by default, and I would leave it on. But if for some reason you get the vehicle stuck and you just can't get it out, that's when I would hit that button. Maybe it might help you get out of a sticky situation. And then under that, you have your lane keep assist. So you can turn that on and off. But basically when it's on, if you start veering over into the other lane, it'll kind of help correct that for you. So it's pretty cool. Which you've probably heard me say a dozen times now that things are pretty cool, right? It's because they are. But continuing to go right, we've got your glove compartment here. And then, of course, on the passenger side, you've got your locks, unlocks, and window controls, and then your power seats over on the far right. But I'll get back out here. Sorry, I'm talking kind of fast. To kind of show you the rest of the interior. And there, so you've got a 120 volt outlet, a 3-prong outlet like home, and then 2 USB ports there, and then your heating and air controls for the back. You also have heated seats back here, which is really cool as well. So, and then you've got your little pockets back here to keep maps, not that anyone keeps those anymore. And then you've got your armrest and your captain's chairs there, and then your back row in the very back. Now, of course, all these seats lie forward. I'm going to try and demonstrate that for you a little bit here. And I probably didn't give you a real good view of the front, but there's that front driver's seat, the passenger there. And then you've got this release right here on this side, and that pulls the seat forward, so that way you can actually easily access the back row without having to climb through the middle. So, I'm 6'4" and 300 pounds, and I can get back here easily. So it's very good. And then, of course, you've got the releases down here, and that'll fold that seat forward. You see it's kind of snug there where the front seat's all the way back. So I'll pull that back forward a little bit here. And there we go. Now it's falling like we want to. Then I'll open up the back hatch. You do have a release down here, this little button here. You press that, and it'll fold right up. And then here you just pull these levers. Oh, and they push down like that. And so you've got a ton of room here to keep groceries, or if your kids play sports, or if you play sports, different equipment and things. And if anyone's in a band equipment. So kind of a bunch of different ideas to keep stuff. You also have this hidden compartment down here, so you can keep things like goodies or Christmas presents, birthday presents, valuables, and maybe if someone for some reason breaks into the vehicle, God forbid, maybe they won't notice that. So I think there's a tire under there or something. Now you do also in this back row, you've got USB ports there and over on this side as well, and then cup holders. But I kind of just wanted to show you all that. I'm going to close everything up and do a once around of the vehicle kind of further away, because I was pretty close up before, and then I'll finally end this thing for you. If you've watched this far, you're probably tired of me now. But again, this is our 2018 pre-owned Traverse Premier. I just like to go over everything in about as full detail as I can. Generally, my videos don't run this long, so I guess I've been running my mouth a little too much. Very good. So I just wanted you to kind of be able to see all that. And this is Jacob with Sutherland Chevrolet. I look forward to talking to you soon. Please call me when you can. You can reach me on my cell phone at 859-492-1137. And have a great day.